Hello, we are Sornia. Thank you, as always, for welcoming us in to your hearts, for taking the messages seriously, for sharing them with others, and for taking yourselves seriously and understanding who you really are in this journey here on planet Earth, this beautiful planet Earth that we are all partaking in both its beauty and some of its not so beautiful experiences. I am a little bit different than what has been coming through for you lately. I am very much earthbound. And I am aware of being both in earth reality and being in my spiritual form. I'm fully aware of both. I am able to basically move my consciousness, that's the way you can say it, in both realities. So as I am in human form, I do not have that limitation that you have of forgetfulness and not knowing who you are. I am already evolved and I have the capabilities of being aware of what I'm experiencing as an evolved being in human form fully with all parts of my physical and non-physical forms. And then I'm fully aware when I move fully my consciousness into non-physical reality, into spiritual form, I'm fully aware of that. And you may be asking this, well, what does this mean? Why? What's going on here? Why? What is this? So we recently spoke to you about the fact that there are pockets and different beings that have now incarnated on your planet, not through birth, but just through arrival. I am one of them, and I want to share with you what it is that we are hoping to accomplish in the coming months with your participation, should you so choose. But what we have set forth as our goal, again, not ultimate goal. Our ultimate goal is that all of humanity awaken and you reclaim your planet and you are successful at understanding who you are and reclaiming this planet also in the third dimensional reality, not in just the 5-dimensional reality. You speak and you know much about the 5th dimensional reality that's tossed about in the spiritual circles that you are in, and you talk about ascension and you are knowing that things are changing, your consciousness is expanding into this higher realm, and you're being assisted by the various energies that are out there, by all of us that are with you in spirit, etc., etc. But it's not just about you ascending to a 5th dimensional existence and abandoning the 3rd dimensional existence and letting it be what it will be. It's no longer that. That may have been what you understood, but that's not where we're wanting to bring everyone. So let me give some information that might help you in understanding, because you will be feeling the effects of this in various ways. You will be seeing things differently in various ways. And as more of the truth of who you are and what it is that you have experienced here in 3rd dimensional earth reality, as more of that is exposed, many of you are going to want to stay in this 3rd dimensional reality because you will see the need for you to stay. So it's a little bit of a shift, if you will, but not one that you do not welcome. So what do we mean here? We're here, I am, and those others that have incarnated. We're not just here to pick those up who've expanded their consciousness and understanding. So come on, let's go home. You're free. Let's go on. And you're now a 5th dimensional being and you've expanded and you no longer have to deal with this 3rd dimensional reality. That's not how we're at least we're hoping that's not how any of you really have spoken to us and said that's not how you want it to be. So what we're saying here is that the coming months in Earth time, you might be very confused. You might be confused by what you are observing. Again, much will start to be revealed. It already is being revealed. Many of you know these things that have been hidden, that are coming out, that will continue. But in addition to that, there will be confusion because you will begin to see your own reality, that third dimensional reality, take on a different shape and form and feel. It already is, and some of you are already experiencing it. But as things are revealed and more of the planet, the beings on the planet, the human beings on the planet, the more that they expand their awareness and understanding of how they have been deceived and what it is that is actually going on and who they truly are, as that continues to be this exposure, if you will, this awakening, many of you have shifted in what it is that you want for yourselves and for your fellow humans. Many of you have come to us and said, why is it necessary for us to abandon those who are not awakening? And we're saying it's not. It's not. This is all choice. And many of you are saying, okay, if that's the case, can we continue to help those who are deeply embedded, if you will, in the third dimensional reality? Is there any way we can help them? And we have said, yes, that is the ultimate goal here. So many of you have taken that on as, rather than focusing on what will happen in terms of ascension, which you are still ascending. So it's not like, okay, you stop ascending, you stop expanding your consciousness, the doorways to fifth dimensional reality are closed because you made this choice. It's not like the last time that this was done. It's much different. Those doorways are open, they will stay open. You have worked to open up those pathways to fifth dimensional reality. You are dissolving many of the limitations, the frequency limitations, the vibrational limitations that have held most of you entrapped. And you're just now in disentangling yourselves. You're just now, truly you just are now. You may think that you haven't, but you are just now truly disentangling yourself from those energies that were placed here on Earth that have held many, all really, in the last 150 years on planet Earth, held you captive. You have been held captive in the sense of your ability to transcend the limitation of what you call reincarnation. Now, there is nothing wrong with reincarnation. That's a cycle that many souls choose, but you have been choosing reincarnation over expansion to go to higher dimensional realms, other realities. You've been choosing kind of unaware that you had other choices besides this reincarnating into the physical third dimensional reality. And that's what's changed. Those of you who are passing on, leaving the physical body at this time, are being shown, if you've expanded your consciousness, raised your consciousness, and are of an awareness that there is more than just this reality, and you are more than just a tiny little soul having an experience, and you understand that you are an infinite being, and you are capable of having anything that you want, that's the way it's designed. If you have that, you are shown where it is that you can go. What's happening, though, is many of you are choosing to reincarnate back here on Earth. And I say back here because that's where I am. I chose to come in. But many of you are choosing and will be choosing to reincarnate without the original way of reincarnating, through conception and birth through the mother. Now, Don't get me wrong, that will continue. That is the way it is designed. But because there is a need at this time for those advanced evolved beings to assist those who are still entrapped in the falsehoods of their reality, to assist them, at least to help them to awaken. Many that are passing on, that are evolved souls at this time, are coming back in, and they're just coming directly in and incarnating and creating a physical form. That's what I have done. I just created a physical form that fit my environment. You're all capable of doing that and will be doing it eventually. But for the time being, you are still restricted and limited by the conditions of the third dimensional reality. So what are we getting at? What do we mean here? We mean that things are changing. You are making other choices in terms of what it is you want. You are looking at the greater good, at the whole, rather than at the individual or smaller groupings. So those individuals like yourselves, and not all of you may choose this. We are just saying this is what we've seen from so many of you. You are choosing to stay connected very much to this third dimensional reality, have third dimensional earth reality experiences, so that you can become very familiar with what that density is like. And you might say, but I already know what that is, but you don't. You wanting to know what that density is like so that you can then learn how to transmute that energy and transcend that limitation and assist others. So yes, you have done a lot of it through your own work on yourselves, and that puts you all in a position of being far more advanced than many that are on your planet. And remember compassion. Remember compassion for those who do not see and experience things the way that you do, do not understand it. Please be compassionate. Don't ever forget your compassion. You are all in this together. We are all in this together. And that's where the shift came. Those of you who are saying, oh, I'm going to ascend and I'm going to go to fifth dimensional reality and I'm going to leave behind this reality, and whoever, I'll do what I can here in terms of helping others. But once this happens, then so be it. I'm gone. And those that didn't awaken, well, they didn't awaken. That's changed. That's what we're focused on in this session here with you. So many of you, you kind, wonderful, compassionate, caring beings, have said that isn't what we should be doing. This isn't the way to go. We have to stay here like you did 26,000 years ago when the pathways closed. You said we have to get as many as possible on board and help them awaken, because you understand what is at risk here. And what is at risk? The risk is losing many, many souls to a darkness, a dark force that will use them and manipulate them for their own good. It's a force. It's an energy. And many of you have seen that that is not going to be for the greater good, that you will continually have to experience the battles with this energy. Yes, this energy will always exist. It's there, but you will have to deal with it in ways that you said, no, this must come to an end. The manipulation, the control of our fellow man, all of them, as many as we can, has to end. So we're bringing this message to you because we feel that, again, we're not 100% sure. We see trends, we see the way things are going, and we give you guidance in regards to that, but we can't say with 100% certainty. And you know that is because things are always changing by what you know and how you interact with your reality. You change the course of things. You bring in love in a hateful situation. You've already changed the hateful situation and altered it. So that's what we're saying here. Many of you are going to see and understand your third dimensional reality and maybe even feel fear from it, because you're going to be able to see and sense and understand what it really is and how it has controlled and manipulated all of you. You're still all being controlled and manipulated because that hasn't fully been overcome. It's still there. It's still the nature of this reality, but the tide is turning. The scales are becoming balanced in favor of those of the light. So we're dispelling the darkness. We are doing that, but we have to stay put is what it is. So you will continue to ascend. You will continue to evolve, but you will evolve even in greater ways by staying put and focusing on all of humanity and not just yourselves. Our last session with you, we spoke to those who feel ready and capable that they should go out into the world and spend time with those individuals or groups that they have found are different than them, or that they have found to be irritating or unpleasant to be around. And some of you have already done that before even hearing the messages. You're beginning to understand how important it is for you to bring your compassion and your presence and that peace and love to everyone, and not just those that you favor and not just those that you have a special relationship with. Those were easy. Now it's time to go in and really do this hard work. And most of you who hear these messages, in particular today's message, already are doing that or are ready to do it. So we wanted to share that with you because we don't know exactly what you're going to experience through your own personal perspective. You're much more aware of the fact of who you are as eternal beings. So that is very helpful because you know that this is being filtered through your human experience, but the essence of you, the eternal part of you, is taking it in, and you're doing that in a more conscious way, much more conscious way. So you will observe the various antics, and they're more than antics, but we're using that term very loosely, if you will. The antics of those who are seemingly in power. You will see that the truth behind what it is that is really being done. And that may seem a little frightening to some of you. And we want to remind you that there is nothing to fear. Absolutely nothing to fear. Stand strong. Stand true to yourself. Know that. Bring that. When you see something that causes any form of anxiety or fear, that is your time to pull yourselves back. Take some time to be centered. Even if you have to stay in the midst of a crowd, you stay centered and you get yourself in that place of your truth so that you then radiate that out into any situation that is fearful or unsettling for you. It can be something as simple as an altercation while driving or something along those lines. This is so vital to everything because everything is connected. What happens on third dimensional Earth at this time is affecting, and it always does, but because third dimensional Earth is the focal point at this time of much of the universe and what they are hoping for, when you focus on that and you focus on what needs to be done in third dimensional Earth in terms of bringing in compassion, light, love, all of that, you are doing the work that you signed up to do. So we're not saying you're not going to ascend, but that word in and of itself sounds like you're going to be lifted up and out and go somewhere else. And that may be possible too. We don't know how things are going to go, how you will experience it. Again, everyone is unique in the way in which they experience their own world. We want you to appreciate that. Don't be like everyone else. Be you, right? You know that. Experience it. Yours is the truth for you. So continue to do that. So we don't know what's going to happen in terms of your own personal journey. We're here to generalize, because that way we reach most of you, and to give you a heads up, because if things seem frightening to you, we cannot dispel that fear and reveal the truth if you fall into fear and anxiety. We need all of you who have even just an inkling of who you really are to be part of this force that continues to bring light, love, the divinity onto your planet to a greater and greater degree. Hopefully this makes sense to you. We really wanted to stress this because as it looks right now, there may be some disruptive times ahead for you. Again, we can't say it with 100% certainty because of the work all of you are doing in terms of bringing in the light, bringing in the love, bringing in the divine, being the conduits for that. We may just not have to have all of the difficulties and all of the disruption. Why else would you do this if there wasn't that possibility, right? So, encouragement to each other, compassion for all, and we mean all, in particular, those that are most difficult. Remember that, because it's easy, and you know this, to feel compassion and caring for that person who's down and out and who's not aggressive. But it's not easy to feel compassion for evil. And you say, am I supposed to feel compassion for evil? No. But for those individuals who have bought into evil as being the only way, evil meaning greed and heartless actions, cruelty, that these individuals, they need our help the most now. So now is the time to really amp up and be brave and go out into the world and help all of those, because it is not your natural state to be in one of fear, anxiety, hate towards your fellow man, hate towards nature. It's not. And you know that. And that is why things are hard for you when you look at your world. We are bringing this awareness to third dimensional reality. So all who are ready for expansion can do that, even if they stay in the third dimensional reality. We don't know, again, what's going to happen. That's all to be determined. But we want you to understand this as best you can, because you are truly our foot soldiers. I'm down here now too. It's quite pleasant. There's so much beauty in all of the universe, not just on Earth, but Earth has such beauty. Okay. I will be back with you someday to give you some updates as to what we have accomplished, because I'm working with others. And I want you to know that there's much for you to look forward to. And it is thanks to all that you have done. We love you very much. We are so united at this time. And we are uniting more and more. And that's the other thing I wanted to share with you. You are unified. Those of you who understand, you are unified and you recognize each other. You know who you are. Okay, that is all for now. It has been very much a pleasure on my part to have this possibility to share what I can with you. We are Sornia. Goodbye.